Hi, this is Amy Whalen and welcome back to Table Flipping Housewife. I recently purchased this piece of furniture off of Facebook Marketplace. It was being promoted as a TV stand, but when I looked at it online, I immediately thought that needs some legs. So I scooped it up, brought it home, and got busy. Now I used this product for the very first time. It's Fusion Mineral Paint. It's a one-step paint. It has the primer and the sealant included, so I was very excited to use it. I learned a few things along the way, which I'll share with you, and then I'll give you my feedback as to what I think about the paint. So if you would like to see how I took this old, neglected, but yet charming piece of furniture and upgrade it to a more rustic yet sophisticated masculine piece that's multi-purpose, then just keep watching. I started by removing all of the hardware and cabinet doors. My original intention was to leave the doors off, but reuse the knobs. I then removed the back panel since someone had used it as a TV stand previously and had drilled holes in the back. I gave the piece a good washing with warm water and Dawn dish detergent. When I was done, I wiped everything down with clean water to remove all the soapy residue. It's very important to clean your furniture so that there's no oil or debris on it so that the paint has good adhesion. And about this time, I made a very exciting discovery. This shelf is removable. I am so excited because the potential for this piece has just grown. Think music. I went ahead and cleaned the shelf as well, and then got started. Since I was adding legs, I removed the outdated skirt at the base of this piece. It was very easy and quite fun to knock it off with the hammer. There was a deep gouge in the front, so I created a pocket using a paint stick and some clamps so that when I attempted to fill it with putty, I would get a nice clean edge. I'm using a different type of plastic wood for the first time. This one is much like Bondo. It has a stinky smell and it dries really quickly. What I liked about it though is that it's already pre-mixed, so it was quick and easy to use. At this point, since I didn't think I would be using the cabinet doors, I even put putty in all the marks left behind by the hinges. The following morning, I took the clamps and the paint stick off and a nice clean edge. So I got busy sanding where I had puttied and also the top. The top had a lot of deep scratches in it. So I wanted to sand all of them down because I really wanted to stain the top of the piece. But even after I sanded everything off, you can see there were a lot of deep gouges still in the wood. I had started to put a second application of plastic wood in, but I stopped to show you how deep these scratches really were. I went back and literally sanded back to completely raw wood. Those gouges were still there, so I knew at this point I wouldn't be able to stain the top without seeing some of the filler, so I'll be painting it. I bought these legs off of Amazon. I'll put a link of the description below. They're super easy to install, especially with this piece because the construction is pine wood, which is very easy to drill and to screw into. It's paint day! But first I took a tack cloth and wiped down all the dust and debris from having sanded it. Now Fusion paint is a mineral-based paint. It has that built-in primer and sealer in it. Again, I'm using it for the first time. I watched a YouTube video created by the creator of Fusion. She says to shake it vigorously. I also stirred it up with a paint stirrer.
But she says to use a bristle brush. I'm using a brush by Jolie here, and she said load it up with paint, which I did. She further explained that Fusion paint has a great self-leveling property as well, as long as you don't overwork the paint. So smooth it out with long strokes and then don't touch those edges again of paint. Let them dry thoroughly. Otherwise, if you keep messing with it as the paint is drying, you create a drag, and that is when you start seeing brush marks. But guys, look at this coverage. I am falling in love at this point. This is raw wood. The priming elements of Fusion paint are truly remarkable. And it is so fun to paint with because it has a really nice creamy texture. So I really enjoyed painting with Fusion, and at this point I'm in love with it. So after I finished painting the top, I went and painted both sides of the piece as well as the inside of the cabinet. And it was about the time that I started painting the front that I realized I really needed or wanted to keep the cabinet doors on. But guys, I did such a bang-up job of filling all those crevices with the plastic wood that I realized once I painted the front of the piece, you would no longer be able to see where those hinges had been screwed in. So I'm using a nail just to hammer in a little dimple into the wood so that once I painted, I'd be able to see exactly where I would need to drill again and attach the hinges. I'm now painting the inside of the cabinet doors and the shelf. And about this time I realized since I was not able to stain the top, I should probably stain the cabinet doors. I'm sanding off where the paint got on the sides of them. And then it was time to add a new backer board. I bought this wood from Home Depot, and I used the original backer board as a guide as to where I needed to cut this one. And you can see now I'm using my skill saw and I'm setting the guide so that I can be assured I'm cutting exactly where I need to go. And you'll notice in a little bit, I then covered the cut line with painter's tape. Since this wood is so thin, it would splinter easily when cut, and that painter's tape helps prevent the wood from splintering. There was no way for me to clamp the board down, so I enlisted the services of my sweet dear husband to hold the wood down as I cut. And I have to tell you guys, this skill saw still makes me a little nervous, but I am growing in confidence as I use it more often. Ah, no splintering. I used a bit of Titebond glue and applied the glue all the way around the back of the piece, and then I used the best tool ever to spread that glue out. Yes, I used my finger, and then I placed the board back down. Now I've learned from experience when doing this, I really need to give that glue time to dry. Otherwise, if it's not completely dried and set, that board will shift a little bit as I'm brad nailing it in place, and the OCD in me just can't stand that. So I put books on it and allowed it to dry for a couple of hours. And now I'm using one of my favorite tools, my brad nailer, to go ahead and nail it in. I wanted to add some sort of a black element to the front of the cabinet doors. I tried stenciling a black fleur-de-lis, didn't like it, so I sanded it off and ended up using black craft paint to paint the natural beveled edge that each door had. And then it was time to put a second coat of paint on the cabinet. In order to ensure that I would end up with a smooth finish, I used 400 grit sandpaper to smooth the surface off before applying that second coat. I wiped it down with a tack cloth and then went ahead to paint the second coat. While that dried, I went outside to work on the hinges. I had purchased these black hinges from Home Depot, but they weren't a good fit. So I knew that I had to use the original hinges. I used Rust-Oleum semi-gloss black paint to paint 2 coats of black on both sides of the hinges and the knobs. I really didn't want a semi-gloss finish, so I sealed them with the Krylon matte sealant, and that worked beautifully. And then I took my project to the back porch to stain the cabinet doors, but as you can see, I'm really watching the LSU Florida Gator game. So I wasn't paying much close attention to what I was doing, but let me explain what I did. I used a shop cloth to apply this Minwax wood stain, and what you're supposed to do is apply a coat and then immediately wipe it off. You don't want too much stain because it won't dry thoroughly and it end up getting tacky, and that's what happened because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. The next day the drawers were still tacky, so I wiped them down with mineral spirits and then put a proper coat of stain on the front of them, and then they were fine. And then it was time to reassemble the hinges and the cabinet doors. And this is about the time I started getting a little frustrated with the Fusion paint. I ended up using Dixie Belle's Best Dang Wax in clear to actually seal the project. Now, Fusion has a natural sealer built in, but without waxing it, I didn't like the texture of the paint. But also, I was leaving fingerprints and dust marks every time I touched the painted surface. So I felt it needed a sealant. Now I'm applying a little bit of wax on by sweeping it with the brush. This is a Dixie Belle wax brush, and swirling it. And then I take a lint-free rag. I used a piece of an old white t-shirt to buff it off, the excess wax off. And you can see already the area that I've waxed has this beautiful light sheen to it. It truly has a wonderful feel to it. So I went ahead and waxed the whole piece. Then I proceeded to reattach the cabinet doors, and then eventually the cabinet knobs. And I want you to watch what I did. Just wait for it. Wait for it. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm applying the knobs to the bottom of the cabinet doors, and it wasn't until I was completely finished that my husband said, "Amy, why are the knobs on the bottom?" Yeah, not right. So I took the doors off again and swapped them and ended up putting the knobs in the proper place off camera. And then I was done.